Mark Levin is crashing out in real time. It's honestly beautiful to watch. He's had enough of going after Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nick Fuentes, and now his eyes are set on Megyn Kelly. He recently called her a Nazi. Megyn Kelly states that he called her a Nazi, and they've been going back and forth on social media. And it's fun to share this because it shows just how much the pro-Israel crowd is really starting to crash, knowing that there are these large right-wing figures that are drifting away from the pro-Israel lunacy. So on X, it says the feud heated when Kelly posted a 40-second clip of Levin's radio show where he groups her with Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Steve Bannon, calling them Nazis amid rants about threats to American Jews. It stems from Levin's warnings of anti-Semitism on the right, which Kelly fired back by saying he overuses the word like the left does and he needs help. So anyways, I'm just gonna. So she quoted here, "You absolutely did, you lying POS. You won't be happy until you see someone get killed." And we could just play this if you guys want to hear it. Kind of what he said.
I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this Jew hatred from the Marxists, the Islamists, the neo-Nazis, the grifters. I don't know where they're pulling us and pushing us. What do they want to do with American Jews? What do they want to do? Where are they taking this country? They're destroying it.
I'm going to start naming them in a second here.
Carlson, Owens, Kelly, Bannon, the rest of them, and others.
So that's really what he said. He didn't directly say Megyn Kelly is blank, but he started off by talking about Nazis and then listing Nazis and grifters, and then he started listing their names. Regardless, what's interesting to see is how much he's just beginning to go after everybody and anybody. And if you go to his Twitter now, he talks about, let me go ahead and share this too. Shame on you, Megyn. You're in a dark place. I urge you to change course. This was on November 14th. So this was just 6 days ago now. This guy's just telling her she's going down going down a dark place. And what else? Pathological liar. I never agreed to anything for this toxic fraud. This is because Tucker Carlson tells Megyn Kelly, I agreed not to attack Ben Shapiro. Interesting. Pathetic but sad, flailing and forever disgraced. Pathetic horseshit. Megyn Kelly sparks fury on the right. Anyways, he's just been going after her like crazy recently. And you think that for somebody that is losing support among mainstream conservatives, and he's already attacked basically everybody but Ben Shapiro and Josh Hammer, you'd assume that maybe he would try to cool it down a little bit, but no, this guy's just gonna go double down on it and just go after anybody and only make things worse for him. Now, here's the thing. You guys might remember, actually, I'm going to play it because this is probably one of the craziest clips I've seen, where he goes on, I believe he was at the Republican Jewish Coalition, was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. When he goes on stage and he starts just hammering people, telling them, if you think your stupid little podcast and your stupid little radio show is going to change the world, it's not. Do you guys remember that? I tweeted about it recently. Here, let me go to my profile. I think I can find it. And he was just going on a rant, just a full-on hate rant. Let's see. I really hope I have it somewhere here. There it is. Okay, let me go ahead and play my screen so you guys can see this too. I made a previous TikTok on it, but I'll just play the...
Who have microphones, who have TV cameras, who have websites, who have columns. Cowards. It's spelled C-A-R-L-S-O-N. It's spelled F-U-E-N-T-E-S. It's spelled O-W-E-N-S. It's spelled B-A-N-N-O-N. It's spelled Marjorie Trader Green. You can figure that out yourself.
Reason they're crashing. So you guys hear me, so you guys don't need to hear me again.
Tucker is not MAGA.
And of course, Randy Fine was there as well. I'll just read this since it's already on the screen. The subtext of all of this frantic pro-Israel wagon circling is that the polling isn't good for Israel. They're losing America, and they know it. So this is kind of what you're seeing with this sort of crash out, is Mark Levin is just losing support everywhere he goes because, simply put, people don't like that Israel is a parasite acting in a parasitic fashion with America. And for him, he's losing this power, this Israeli base that he's always had growing up, because now we have social media and people can see what's actually going on. And instead of recognizing, oh well, maybe having a Mossad honeypot trafficking operation of young American girls, probably not a good way to elicit support for Israel. Maybe that's something that he could have came across. Maybe pushing America into the Iraq war wasn't probably a good thing for the pro-Israel crowd, probably was going to eventually backfire. Ben Shapiro writing articles like why war in Iraq is good for America, probably not a good thing, probably going to cause some backfire. Today, did you guys hear today? I played it in my last a couple of videos ago. Former CIA officer comes out publicly and says, yeah, Israel threatened the United States that it would nuke Iran if Trump didn't blast B-2 bombers on Iran's Fordo nuclear site. It's another thing that just comes out publicly to where you can't continue hearing this sort of stuff with not just being like, God damn it, when will this stop? You're getting real sick of it. And then you have people, Mark Levin, he's just sharing the same old thing. It's just like neocon, hate Arabs, bomb Middle Eastern countries, murder babies, neocon, put America more in debt, $5 trillion war here, $5 trillion war there, everything becomes more expensive, and then blame it on Arabs. Even if your groceries are high, figure out a way to blame it on Arabs, even though I'm the problem because I'm pushing America into every single damn war for the Israel project in the Middle East, while they still have free healthcare and education, and we're out here with everything being so damn expensive. Like that's probably why people are starting to feel resentful. I was talking to somebody recently because this is not just on the right, by the way, it's on the left. If you look at Gen Z and you look at the recent polls, on both sides, the left and the right are both diverting to political extremism. They're both more. There's higher percentages of people that are considered political extremists in recent polls on both sides for the younger generation in comparison to the older generation. I think it's typically, what was it? It typically floats around 3 to 10% of the population on each side. And now that number went, I believe, from 4% to 7% or 4% to 8% on both sides. Why? Because if you're on the left already and you tend to be more on the liberal side and everything's becoming more expensive, you're just like, what's going on? And you just fail. You're just like, I'm over capitalism. Well, then you're going to try to look for an alternative and you might start drifting towards socialism. And then if you're on the right and you're getting sick of the way things are in these neocon policies, then you're going to start becoming a lot more isolationist. And I mean, I guess all the way on the right, what would that be? I guess like fascism or something. I don't think what I'm saying is that the more that you make Americans feel hopeless, they're going to seek hope elsewhere. That's just fact. So the more Americans feel hopeless, the more they're going to seek hope elsewhere. And it doesn't matter where it is because you guys aren't giving them anything better to turn to. Nothing. Mark Levin is not offering anything better for Americans. So no wonder people are going to turn elsewhere. I mean, Nick Fuentes actually posted it on his like recent show. He was like, "Oh, I represent hope," and I found it really interesting. But the same reason that people like Nick Fuentes represent hope to a lot of people are also why people like Zohran Mamdani, regardless if you like his politics or not, he represents hope for a demographic of people that feel like the system failed them. Now, whether or not you like either of those people or you hate both of them, it doesn't matter. The thing is, the mainstream status quo is simply not appeasing and it's not working for the younger generation. And instead of recognizing and instead of politicians trying to understand why that's the case, they're resorting to instead canceling them, putting legislation like Chuck Schumer now going on saying he's going to put an anti-Fuentes bill instead of realizing, well, wait a second, that's probably not a good idea considering there are millions of Americans now that consider themselves groypers. Canceling them is not going to work anymore because you're not actually understanding what led them to drifting towards that direction. and considering more of an America first approach, because bombing the rest of the world for Israel is probably it's not fun anymore. People don't like it. People are seeing it for what it is. So that's my 2 cents with that. The Mark Levin's fanaticism is only going to really increase from here. I'm really enjoying the crash out, to be honest. I'm really enjoying the crash out of Mark Levin, Randy Fine as well. Who else? Bill Ackman, love it. Ben Shapiro, amazing. It's just like it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So thank you, Mark Levin. Thank you for making yourself look so ridiculous. I really, really appreciate it. Genuinely, it's just a huge smile on my face every single time. I love it so much. So thanks, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to click the subscribe button below as well, please. Helps grow my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Helps me be able to make more content for you guys and do this as a full-time gig here. So anyways, take care. Good night. Bye, guys.